once more. We've had a bit of a longer intermission, of course. That tends to happen if some of the matches, or well, in this case, a match goes by quite swiftly. You will see our faces again, me, Creedy, and Valen, and to my side as well. And we saw Catcrow Mates and Fairy Tale have a bit of a nice warm-up match for the main core, the main dish for today, which is the entire tournament, to be honest. And Birds of Prey and the Wild Things are the first on the table.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a good match. Birds of Prey, of course, last month not there to go for the title, but they did win the first step, so they are definitely contenders for the first prize here, at least a very good position. Maybe the Fairy Tales can put a stop to it. We've got, of course, Equinox, who are good contenders. Big Bonkers did really well. Uh, let's see, maybe some other teams are gonna pull something out of a hat. We don't know, but this game is gonna be interesting for sure. We have let's see, Talibird and Eva, I
Mm-hmm.
think, and then let me take a look at the thing here. Stardust and Kato, of course, also a very good team. So let's see if they can put a stop to the Birds of Prey to keep them from winning another step, maybe. Let's see who ends up in the lower bracket and who ends up in the upper bracket. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a good match, I think. Of course, the other two matches that are gonna be going on.
Yeah, we can
Let me
show the bracket and schedule for
the
the people
bracket.
as
Yes,
well, so
let's
people
see
can
the
see.
bracket for a moment. We have the Big Bonkers versus MEOW, which is Zara and Ya versus Maji and Annie. And then we have Lilies and versus the Fairy Tales going on at the same time. We've, of course, just seen the Fairy Tales. So we know that that is Runner and Marina. And Lilies will be Lena Kitty and Liz. And we have the Birds of Prey versus the Wild Things. And of course, this goes for the lower bracket or the upper bracket. Now you're going to be split up into two different leagues, basically, and it will all come back together at the end of the tournament in the grand final. So let's see who is going to take which road to get there, because yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Whoever goes to the lower bracket will face the Cat Girl Mates, who have already played in the first round, of course. So let's see what's going to happen. We don't have everyone on the server yet. We're still waiting
Mm-hmm.
for Kato, I think. And of course, we're going to have the picks and bans. And who knows, maybe we'll see the new maps today in
Well,
this
that
one.
will be the case.
I hope so. I hope so.
Hopefully they don't avoid them like the plague or something like
We
that. I
will see
mean,
them in the grand final for sure, because that's going to be a best of five. But let's
yep.
see if we see them a little bit sooner. Would be cool to see how the ladies perform in that.
Yeah, there's
So
no avoiding the
I'm
grand
very
final.
curious.
There we will definitely see them.
They have to face it at some point. Exactly, exactly.
But hopefully we'll see more of it. I mean, Decadence definitely deserves more highlight. It is definitely a good map as well, and Viridian Hills can maybe provide some, as I said before, maybe some more comfort or more consistency for teams that maybe are looking for some. Of course, it does have it's a very, like I've said, very simplistic map. Maybe people tend to not go towards that, or but I know for a fact that some teams do have some maps that they do not want to play, and I'm pretty sure that they will gladly take Viridian Hills or
Yeah, I
Decadence
think
in place of that.
I think the danger with a map that is I wouldn't say easy, but like you're less likely to crash, is it's not just for you. That goes for the other team as well, right? So
Hmm.
then it's just about pure pace. And if you are consistent, then I think you might want to go for a harder track, because other people tend to crash. And if you're fast, you want to go for the easy tracks, right? Is that a good assessment, or am I now just talking out of my hat?
I mean, it makes sense. Like with everything involved. I mean, it's especially with new maps, really don't know where people are. Yes, you can
Yeah.
check the leaderboard, you can see the time, but when you go into rounds, it's a completely different story as well. And so we'll have to wait and see for that one. But overall, I mean, I'm happy with the maps that have been picked. Of course, we did
Nice
some
maps.
testing of the other maps as well. We reserved some for the December reveal as well. That will be something that you can look towards tomorrow as well. So I'm just saying. So tomorrow you will see a bit of, a bit of taste of what we have, what the maps are for December to join in to the pool of existing ones. But that is for tomorrow. That's just a bit of, a bit of a teaser of what is to come there. But for the time being, we are just waiting for Kerto to join the server. There is a bit of time always we reserve for the teams that uh, for once they do join. But for the time being, we get to do a bit of a podcast, Women's Racing League unofficial podcast until everybody has joined.
Exactly, exactly. Um, let's see. Do we have a PB thing here in this
In the warm up,
standing
you won't be
match?
able to see, so you would have to actually
No, no, no.
open up
I'm
the
looking
map.
at the
Yeah,
master sheet. Let's see. Not
there we won't have
sure.
it just quite
No,
yet. I
we
mean, you
won't have
can
that.
maybe
Okay.
pull up some maps in
Check
trackmania.io.
Mania IO. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I mean, or we can just bully Sasha into making another PB sheet.
Another
That's all.
tab. Yeah.
That's always a possibility. So, Sasha, if you're listening, I haven't seen him in chat, but if you are, well, now you know what we will ask of you for the next
I
part.
know exactly.
Some homework.
Unfortunately, of course, Team Red Blue will not be joining us for this event. And the December, will they be there for the December event? I'm not sure, but they
At
will
the
not be
moment,
here
yeah,
today.
with the currently as it stands, at least with the information that we have received. Oh, stop right there. We actually have the people have joined. We can actually
Kato's here.
start.
Nice.
Everybody's
Let's go.
here.
Pick some bands, baby.
Pick
Let's
and
go. Okay, the
bands.
first ban is going to be
Hey,
Attention. That means we will see at least one of the new maps today. Let's see
indeed.
what the second map is going to be. So the first map from the last round will not be played in this match. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Tallybird is banning for the Birds of Prey, and what will she ban? Let's see. Viridian Hills will be banned. Okay, that
Nobody
is one of the
likes
new
that map
maps that
apparently.
that we will not see. But that means we will see the other new map, Decadence. So that's going to be a good one. Eva is going to pick
Oh, there it is.
Decadence. There it is. First map. They apparently like it. I'm very excited to see what will happen on that map. Let's see how the girls will perform on that. The second pick is going to be for Kato for the Wild Things, and it is Supination. So Decadence, Supination, and then the random map is Celestia. That will be the map order right now. Decadence is the one we are going to start with. So, looking forward to that. I'm very curious how that's going to play out. And yeah, I think we're going to go in 60 seconds. So, if you don't have a drink yet, now is the time to run to your kitchen and grab it because we will be starting soon in this map. Birds of Prey versus the Wild Things. The lower bracket and the upper bracket is what is at stake here. Let's see how this goes. I'm very excited. Birds of Prey are back after a step not able to play. And I think they are definitely aiming for that first place again. So let's see if they can make that happen.
I mean, the idea is always to go for the win, of course. As I see that, I believe one of the players, I don't even know who that is, but had the khaki skin at least. I do believe it is the pink khaki skin. But that's very lovely to see. But I'm interested in it. And we do see Decadence for the first time as well in the tournament as well. So, as said before, it is
GJKF.
Talibird. Yep, by
Yep.
GJKF. Loso, the coach of Equinox, has the world record, so maybe note that down. This map has received some updates as well. The earlier version of this map actually had the start, had the hole here, which has been removed. And this map also had a few flags and lights here as well, so those have been removed as well. And I believe one of the checkpoints did
I hate
receive
those
a bit.
personally. I don't like flags in my way, man.
I mean, it's always, less
I
clutter is
always
always
bump
for the
into
best.
them. I
Yeah,
always bump. If there's a flag on the path, I bump into it. Like,
I
for
mean,
sure.
Stardust likes poles because she's the one that definitely gave that first pole a good hug. But for the time being, Yeva and Talibird definitely are going into Decadence with a lot of confidence. This is a very nice pace map. If once you get into the flow of this, it does feel very nice to drive. But it can be rather punishing because there are some parts where if you are not very comfortable with it, it can really throw you off as Kato. is trying to catch up to Tali and Yeva, but they are just having a fun time. The Birds of Prey are feasting currently with a 41.3 on the board as well, and 41.49. It's a good start for the Birds of Prey, 3-0, and Kato and
3-0.
Stardust have a work to do.
That is definitely a good start to start your round of this tournament with an ace, and that's exactly what the Birds of Prey have put on the board here. Now it is up to the Wild Things to put something else on the table here. They're going to want some points, and it is Talibird who's in the lead, but she's closely followed by Kato and Stardust. Eva now taking over that every position switch there on the board. That was interesting. Now it's still Talibird in the lead. Let's see. Kato, though, it's very close gap. Let's see, in the back here, Eva is hunting for that second place. She wants that second ace on the board, but Kato is fighting for whatever she's got. It is, however, a beautiful last turn from Eva, and she snipes that with a lot more speed. It's another ace right there. The score is 6-0, and that's how you come back after a month away. Just put 6-0 on the board right away. Yeah, this is going to be a tough cookie. I think they like this new map.
Well, they did pick it, so you would say that would make a lot of sense, and I do agree, they do look rather confident. Yeva has had a bit of a rougher start. Definitely Talibird has been the more comfortable side, but when you look at me talking that and you see all red on your screen with the Wild Things leading Tali and Yeva quite comfortably actually, then you might be saying, Cash, what are you talking about? Oh, well, the score is 6-0, of course, so there is some merit to this logic, but at the moment, Stardust goes a bit too high on the dirt, touches the wall, but Kato at the moment
is hunting.
Yeah, Yeva is trying. Can he do it again? But not this time, it seems, and Stardust does go a bit too wide, so it is a draw, but it does show that, you know, the start seems to be the most crucial part. If you don't get that part starting off, then the rest of the map, you know, it becomes very difficult to actually catch up. So for now at least, looking good for everything. Hey, it's a point on the board on the opponent's map pick. That's always something that you can look forward to, and it is, you know, it's Birds of Prey and their first pick. You gotta give yourself some, you know, bit of time. As Kato, I believe she touched the water there. Yeah, she has wet wheels and now has to enjoy wet plastic. You gotta love that. But yeah, Yeva and Talibird looking for an ace though.
Definitely looking for the ace, and of course they are on a map point. They only need 3 more points to get the win on this map here. So if they make it like this, that is going to be a very fast first map, and that's exactly what happens. Birds of Prey take the first map 10-0. Very, very solid performance from both of them. And there you go, that's the first map, and I think we see why they picked it.
True. Well, it is 10-1. Not 10-0, technically. They did get that 1 point. You know, that 1 point matters.
10-0, yeah, 10-1, of course. Did I say 0? I don't listen to me. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't change the fact they got the track point.
Yeah, we're going to Supination, a map made by Sophie. We've, of course, seen this map before, and they have already played a lot of rounds on it in the previous steps, so people should be very familiar with this map. Let's see how the ladies will perform on this, if they've put in a lot of practice in it in between the rounds. And of course, we're still in the warm-up. Let's see how they perform. That edge there that Stardust just clipped, that we see that a lot, that people just go a little bit too much to the edge there, and just, if you clip a wheel, you're immediately just yeeting off to the side. And there you go. First round is starting on the map Supination by Sophie. It is 3 girls now, very close together. Actually, Kato is also very close still. The gap is only 0.1, but there's a little bit of a gap now forming between number 3 and 4, which is Stardust and Kato. But Kato with a nice turn there in the grass part. But she does clip, and also Stardust clips, so that means Talibird and Yeva have a very, very good chance here to get another ace on the board. And it looks to be, they just seem to be cruising towards that exact result here. The grass turn here, you want to jump into the dirt and avoid those edges because they're going to bump you up. The last turn here is coming up. And I think we have another ace on the table. Yeah, only 0.1 between the birds of prey between each other, and Stardust and Kato 2.5 seconds behind. It's the first round on the map, though. Maybe they need a little warm up again, but it is another 3-0 on the board, and that is a very, very scary position for the Wild Things to be in, and they do need to step it up now.
Yeah, you would expect that they did pick the map. Of course, when it comes to Birds of Prey, you do have to always keep in mind that they are probably going to be prepared on all the maps. As I say that, both Tally and Yeva both touched the wall and are now behind both Stardust and Kato. A classic, if you want to be me, basically. As soon as I try to compliment any team, no matter where I cast, where I'm from, they immediately just combust into flames. They probably get very shy. Whoa, Stardust! Going for the whole trickster there, almost trying to go for a bit of, if you know initial D, the gutter technique, but it's the whole technique there. Didn't pay off that well, but at the moment, it does mean that Yeva is in first, Kato is in second, and Talibird is trying to go for that extra ace on the board, but she needs to overtake Kato. I don't think it will happen in the end. It's very hard to really make a mistake unless you touch the dirt, and she does not, so it will be a point on the board for the Wild Things. And it will be 5-1 on the board. Still a victory for Birds of Prey, but a bit of a shaky round compared to the previous one for the Birds of Prey.
They are definitely showing that they can still drive this map very well here. So let's see what they can do. They have 4 points to make up for if they want to extend this to a third map. So they have still got a long way to go. But it's not impossible because, as we have seen, the Birds of Prey can make mistakes. Here's that turn again. They're now avoiding it like the plague, as they should. And Talibird and Yeva still in the lead. Stardust slowing down a little bit. It is Kato who takes over that third place. And Talibird is just driving so fast. Together with Yeva, they're basically driving the exact same lap here. Look how close together they are. It's only 400s of them. 400s between the two of them. And it does not look like they will be making a mistake. And I hope I'm not caster-cursing that as you do. But let's see. Last turn here. Yes, they've got this in the bag. The score is 8-1, which puts them only 2 points away from the victory of this match here. And yes, Kato and Stardust, they need to ace like 3 times. They cannot afford to lose any more points to this team. They need to deny. Otherwise, this is going to be over real soon.
That's definitely true, but it seems that the Birds of Prey tactic is basically either we finish together, basically nothing separating us, or it's basically everybody on the team makes a mistake. So there's no in between. There isn't like one round where one of them does great and the other one. They are literally, you cannot separate Yeva and Talibird or they won't drive. Basically, they're like, if we are not driving together, then we won't drive. That's what we will do. So, but Kato is trying to catch up to Tally and Yeva, who are looking to start off their first match of the day with a very comfortable win as well. So we might have to look towards other ventures in the other matches that are happening simultaneously as well. But for the time being, Yeva, Talibird looking comfortable, looking to take another win on the board, and an ace it is with very good times as well. And the Wild Things, well, they have another chance in the lower bracket as Birds of Prey moving comfortably towards the next round. They will have a bit of a break before they get to play another match, but at least for now, that is 2-0 for them. Well done indeed.
Very comfortable win indeed. And as you said, let's see what the other matches are doing, because we have 2 more going on. Let's see how they are faring. Allow us a moment to
maybe
open
big
up
Bonkers
those
and
matches.
MEOW. Let's see here what we have.
We'll
have to take a look here. What is on the table here? Maybe there's also Lilies and Fairy. I do believe both matches are still underway, but what is the exact score is the question at the moment. So that is the score there. And do you have a preference?
It's very close. I'm in Big Bonkers MEOW right now. The score is 4-5 and 1 map up for MEOW. So that could be over in 2 rounds, but it could also go for a third match, a third map. So that should be an interesting one. Right now, it's Zara in the lead. Have you been able to join the server?
We are live on the server with our helicopter view at the moment. Zara is in first position at the moment. I'm not gonna switch this camera because at the moment this is a nice view. Sarah does finish. Sneaky Annie finishes. Yeah! Oh,
Ah!
gets overtaken by one
The snipe
thousandths
though!
of a second in the end. Holy moly, right on
Wow.
cue as well. And there we are. What a match. These teams never fail to deliver. Uh,
They
they have a
definitely don't.
rivalry between the two at this point. It's
They
either the
both
big
have,
bonkers or the
yeah.
meow.
They both have this thing where it's like, yeah, we want to win again in case of Big Bonkers, and Meow's like, no, no, this is ours. We're taking it. Meow, though, in a very good position, of course, because they have one map over the ladies from the Big Bonkers, and Zara is on a mission. Look at her. She is in first place. Maji, though, is 0.6 behind, but who knows what can happen. Sneaky Annie is 4 seconds behind, so she will not play a significant role in this particular matchup. Maji will finish in second place. Zara with a 44.1 in first place, and that puts the score to 8-6. And that is a match point. Maji setting a new PB though. That is very, very nice.
Yeah, and in the meantime, we do have an update that Lilies and Fairy Tale ended in a 2-0.
Okay.
So basically, this is the match to watch at the moment, and would be nice, of course, if production guy also changes the title as well. Definitely already on the case here.
Oh,
Easy
Maji.
done, but Maji having a bit of a fumble there. Sneaky Annie is the one to overtake here, but where is Sarah is just miles away. But Sarah and Ya at the moment, wide
Annie
arriving.
responding too.
Yeah, they are definitely having a good time here. We don't know what happened in the map number 1. Maybe it was a 10-9 affair. Maybe it went into overtime. Who knows? But for the time being, Meow definitely enacting the revenge for the time being as they get an ace on the board.
Ooh, the Ya finish though.
Yeah, I had her on the camera, so a bit of
Yeah.
a fumble as Sneaky tries to replicate the same, but not to the same extent. But it does not matter because Meow take the match 2-0. And this is now in the rivalry. I do believe that they're sort of like 1-1 or 2-1. I don't know in whose favor it is. Somebody needs to run the numbers back. But but I'm sure they will have a fun time meeting each other as well. And Kelva apparently says that the first map score was 7-10 on
Ooh, very
Decadence.
close maps then.
So
Both
definitely
of them.
close affair, but when we switch to our point of view, well, that is at least for the time being the first round matches. They are all 2-0, but I don't think they were equally 2-0. It seems that Meow and
That
Big
was a close
Bonkers
one.
definitely had a close affair, but it ended up still being a 2-0. And now, with everything as it's done, the brackets all updated and everything, it's a good time as any to bring
Let's take a
them
look.
up here. So, let's see.
Exactly.
You can give us a bit of a rundown.
Yes. So of course we only have one match going on in the next round. So the Big Bonkers versus the Catgirl Maids is the one we will be watching because the Wild Things got a bye. Actually, no, Orange Car Club. Yeah, the Wild Things get a bye for the next round. Sorry, I'm messing all things up. So there's only one round here that we're going to be watching, one match. Big Bonkers versus Catgirl Maids. And then 45 minutes after that, it's going to be Equinox versus Meow in the upper bracket semifinal. And the other semifinal is going to be the Fairy Tales versus the Birds of Prey. And at the same time, we will watch the Lilies versus the Wild Things, or at least that will be going on. We don't know what we're going to watch yet. Lilies versus Wild Things is going to be happening, and Wisp will be playing the winner of the Big Bonkers versus Catgirl Mates. We don't know yet who their opponent is going to be, but we will find out in, let's see what time it is. We still have quite some time until that happens. I think 25 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we've given
think,
people a lot
25
of
minutes.
time, but you know that is technically in some sense, it is a good way, of course,
Yeah.
because they do have time to
Refresh a little bit.
prepare. If they want to, they can quickly take a look at the scores as well and see, okay, who we have.
Do a
our
little
opponents.
strategizing. What maps do we want to take? What maps do we not want the opponents to have? That kind of thing.
Yep,
so,
yep.
yeah.
All of the shenanigans and all of the stuff that
all
you
the
ever want to be.
shenanigans.
And given that what we have seen so far, I'm looking forward to them as well. I think the definitely, if anything, for Big Bonkers with their next matchup against Catgirl May, it will be a good time as well. Maybe the first match. It's always difficult to sort of get into the first match of the day. Sometimes you arrive and everything just works fine,
It's the
perfectly.
nerves as well, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
everything can work
yeah.
wonderfully on the first match, and you don't have to worry about anything. But I feel like now with the second match they have a bit of time to get more into it, play a bit more. And I'm sure if at any point not Catgirl mates, Big Bonkers meet MEOW on their journey as well, or some other teams, I'm sure they will be more prepared as well. But it's been good time. Sarah, I'm sure she had a wonderful time. She's definitely uh, been
She was
keep
zooming.
been keeping MEOW up afloat with Ya holding the row, boating. They both are rowing the boat with Sarah in the helm, pointing towards where they need to go as well. And so all of the good stuff
I
as
like the
well.
mime
Yeah,
extras
it's just
effects.
you gotta row. Both of them are rowing, but Sarah is pointing where they need to go as well. Sort of giving the stuff as well. So it's very good stuff, and I'm looking forward to what we will see from the upcoming matches as well. And as I said, there will be only one match. If you didn't see from the bracket already beforehand, that since Orange Car Club won't be participating. The Wild Things do get a bye win through to the next round, where they will meet Lilies, so that already they know who already they're facing. And Big Bonkers and Catgirl Mage, well, whoever wins that match will go up against Wisp. Well, technically won't go up against Wisp. They get a bye win as well because Wisp is also not arriving. So no, everybody gets a bit of you get a bye win, you get a bye win. Everybody gets a bye win at some point. but uh,
Exactly.
but at some point it will
Unfortunately,
come
that's
to end.
just, yeah. That's just how it goes when brackets are made, and then, yeah, sometimes it gets a little complicated. But,
It happens.
in the end, it will all come together nicely in the big grand final, which is going to happen tomorrow at 8:30. But of course, we will be starting with other matches tomorrow at 7 CET. So that should be a very good. We don't know yet who those teams are going to be, but two of those teams will be able to qualify themselves for that upper bracket final um, today already. So they already know that
Hmm.
they're going to be there, and it's going to be either Equinox or MEOW, or and Fairy Tale Birds of Prey. So two of those teams will meet each other in the upper bracket final, and through the lower bracket, you can still come together and meet each other in the grand final. So, yeah, a lot of matches to be played. I think we have about 20 minutes to the next match, or maybe we do another little break. What do you say?
I mean, the breaks are there to be taken, so we will gladly take them. It's always a good time to take it, and it will be around 15 minutes until we are back. We will grace the
Yes.
screens with our presence as always, but we will be back there as well. So don't go too far. We will take a small little break. Well, small,
See
I
you
say
later.
50 minutes. But then we will enjoy our time. So for the time being, enjoy your time. We'll be right back.
We'll be back.